And here we are.
Hey!
It's us doing our thing. Casey, Daniel, Jesse, Sarah. We're all here.
Yeah.
Daniel, you're still muted, but that's okay.
We prefer it that way.
Yeah.
Damn, Daniel.
Love you.
All right. This is fun. This is the fun part of the week where we get to lie or tell the truth. Who cares? Who knows? We don't. So let's go around the horn. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Let's start with Casey.
My name's Casey Casperson. I am 22 years old, and I just graduated from.
The buzzer got a cameo, finally.
You could be like the dad to a 22-year-old.
Yeah.
You're like the dad in a teen drama. Good for you.
Jesse,
Wow.
with a full,
Wow.
a full clip.
Okay. You know what? This has been great.
Yeah, I think we're on the same team. I need you.
You are. You care to amplify any of the things that you just spoke, Casey? Like
No,
we are, what you do, and all that?
It doesn't matter. I've been in quarantine for a long time. My hair is getting out of control.
Oh, really? I wonder what that's like.
Well, Tom, no one's drinking the Kool-Aid at your shelter. So
That's very fun. Well, hey, more Kool-Aid for me. You know, Daniel.
you
No,
first,
keep going.
my friend. You first.
Hi.
Tell us about you, Daniel.
So, little known fact.
Say it.
I'm a fucking Sagittarius.
That's the
I don't know.
only thing. That's the only thing that astrology can be used to predict what you're going to say every Saturday.
There's a lot of misinformation out there. A lot of things. People have misconceptions. There's Russian disinformation bots out there. But one thing remains true. I'm a Sagittarius. That's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, America.
Enjoy your retrograde.
Yeah, really. Yes, Sarah.
Sup?
Say something.
Cool. One time I went to Waco, Texas, because Tom told me I would get to just, like escape this mortal plane. And I waited for like 6 hours and he never showed up. So you never really apologize for that, bud.
It wasn't Waco, Texas. It was Waco, Arkansas.
Fuck!
I was waiting. You think it's easy to stand around and wait in Arkansas?
So embarrassing.
God
Oh,
damn.
Well-
If I stayed there any longer, I would have evolved.
Oh man. Well, I got, I went to the Magnolia silos and I got some Whataburger and I came home and found a new lease on life. So
Wow.
thank
When
you.
does-
When does that lease expire? Okay, Jesse.
Months.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, what's up? I'm Jessie. I'm a mom.
Oh my God.
I'm a MILF, I guess you could say. That's it. Yeah. I have a job.
Jesse, it's not a bit if you believe it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's not a bit if you say it. There's never anyone that's been like, I'm a MILF.
Yeah. Like,
I personally would like to fuck myself. So that's what it is now. All right, people.
you get it. You get me.
Okay, great. Daniel is on the head of the world's shortest line. Okay, so let's get on with our game, shall we? And what do we do in this game? Each of our contestants, both on the blue team, that's Casey and Jesse, and Daniel and Sarah on the red team, have sent me in the past a factoid about themselves, many factoids about themselves. And so I'm going to display a factoid about each one of them. It might be the ones that they've sent me, or I might have made something up that's ridiculous. And they are going to have to defend it as though it's true, even if it's not. So it's a guessing game, and we'll see how that all works out. So
Here we go.
Shall we get started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then. All right. So I like to go in a semi-clockwise direction. So I'm going to start with Casey. Casey, are you ready?
Ooh. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
When I was young, I used to throw pebbles at the window of a girl I liked to get her attention until I accidentally broke the window and had to pay.
Okay, start the interrogation.
Ooh.
Who was she? Story
Who was
Her,
on this young hussy.
her name was Autumn.
Kate, really, Casey?
Did you meet her?
I
in
dated
Coachella?
I dated her younger sister Rachel before I dated her. Her house backed up to our house, so I could just hop the fence and be at her place. However, this is before all the cell phones and the whole like texting and the whole 9 yards. So it was to my benefit to check in before I hopped the fence to make sure that the parents weren't home.
How did she usually react to the pebble throwing? Knowing that you had been with her sister, not biblically, but had some type of connection there. What was that like?
A great question. So I was with Rachel for about a week or so, and she moved on. She was not into me. And then I hung out with her.
Couldn't you have thrown rocks at her to change her mind? Or
we couldn't have told the story about how I threw a rock and it hit my sister in the head and it cut her head open and she had to go to the hospital. So Rachel was not so much into me, but Autumn, I guess like the summer after that, I was hanging out with her and a couple of friends, and I don't have a lot of game. I'm not a guy that makes a good move. So all of her friends told me, "Hey, she's kind of into you," and so I finally made a move after making sure 3 people had confirmed that I could make a move.
Did you ever mix up the windows? Like, hit up Autumn by accident?
No, because Rachel's window faced the road and Autumn's window faced the backyard, which is where I could throw the rocks. But her parents' room was the window next to it.
Got it.
So did you accidentally break her window, or did you break another window?
I broke her window because I got impatient. We had planned this out. So I had said, hey, if it's past like bedtime, I can't call, right? Because back in the day, if you call the phone, the whole house rings. Right, and so I would try to toss a little pebble. This is, by the way, the first time that we worked out this plan, just so you know.
Casey, you don't know your own strength.
Did you bring your own pebbles? I mean, did you have to find pebbles to bring?
I was in my backyard, so I just threw them from my backyard.
Where'd they come from? Are you just lying around, or did you have to gather them ahead of time so you'd have enough pebbles? Or?
Tom, have you ever been into your yard? There's just usually rocks.
So did you have to order them online?
If I were doing this, I would line up a whole bunch of pebbles. That's what I would do.
I threw a few pebbles. I waited. They didn't work out. I threw a bigger pebble. It didn't work out. I missed a lot, and I kept hitting their sliding glass door, which is on the first floor. And then I thought, well,
you started with Pebble and worked your way up to Bam Bam. Is what I'm hearing.
I actually started with
about,
mulch.
Mulch.
Tom, like over there Googling like sedimentary rock in Colorado.
Sarah, I'm gonna stop you right there. This is 1993. This is Googling. Well before Google.
Oh no, I meant Tom now to make sure that there was like
in the 1990s. I don't think there even was sedimentary rock. So
right. It was all
classic rock mostly.
This is before people knew who Kurt Cobain was. Just so if we're keeping it, like Jeremy spoke in class today. That was a big hit that year.
Yeah, that's Pearl Jam.
Hey,
but yeah,
Casey, I got a question. Tell us about getting in trouble and having to pay it back, and an interaction with the dad who probably already hated you because of the thing with the other daughter, right? So what's going on?
Yeah, because you were trying out his daughter, just like a box of Whitman sampler chocolates, you know.
So
cream filling. No, I don't think I want that.
So just so you know, the most attractive of the three daughters was Chrissy.
Oh, there's another one.
Really?
Yes.
She's the one who was never hit by a rock. Yes.
And
I had her in the basement to hide her from this guy.
I definitely made a pass at her at one point, and she said, "Oh, who's next? Aaron?" And Aaron is her brother. So she called me out. So definitely broke the window. The next day, I talked to my dad and I said, "Hey, this is what happened." My dad was like, "That's not good." So I walked around, which is weird because I could have just hopped the fence, but I walked around, knocked on the door, talked to Vern. Yes, that dude's name is Vern. And Vern couldn't keep the smile off of his face because he found the whole thing to be hilarious. Because I was like, "Hey," he's like, "Yeah, I know." And I'm like, "But I should pay for the window." He's like, "You can pay for the window. That's fine." He's like, "You just look really scared." I'm like, "I'm very scared right now."
Okay, so it's time to end the inquiry phase and go on to the judgment phase. So, Daniel, Sarah, discuss what you think he's doing, telling a lie or telling the truth.
Dan, what do you think?
This is just all very believable. I'll just say that. It's very believable.
Is it too believable? As we know, Casey is an unhinged degenerate.
Unhinged, you say?
Almost sounds like a plot from the Wonder Years. If Casey was like, "I masturbated so hard I broke my neighbor's window," I'd be like, "That sounds legitimate." But this is so sweet.
The name of her family.
I want this to be true because it would actually make Casey out to just sound like such a nice little youth.
Okay, slander aside, I'm going to need. Or is it libel? You should know. Which one is it? I think it's slander.
It's slander.
Yeah.
I spoke it.
Yes.
But when I write up the summary, it'll be libel as well.
I think it was assault, but that's just me. So.
We need a vote.
Sarah,
it sounds believable. I say let's give him this nice wholesome. It's true. Let's say it's adorable.
So you're basically saying that you think it's true?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's a lie.
Did it.
We knew it. You're my favorite. You're my favorite degenerate.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Name Vern.
I'm sure there was a Vern in an autumn and
So here's the deal. That whole story is true. All of it is true.
Okay.
Obviously, what's not true is me throwing rocks at her house. What all of it is true is I heard the garage door going up, and I was making out with Autumn in her living room, and I flew out of the living room, ran out to the yard, flew over the fence, and I guess Vern had walked into the house and saw my skinny ass running and flying over the fence, and I refused to go back over to the house until Vern was like, just have Casey come over. I like him. He's a nice guy. Like, I understand what's going on. And I came over, and Vern tried to act like a really mean, upset guy with me. And I he might be dead now. I don't know, but
But not
like
as a result of that, no.
not as a result of that. But from what I understand, 20 years later, he still tells that story to people about. He's like, I watched this little kid. Just these fences were like 8 feet tall. He said he watched me leap that fence in one jump, and I flew over.
Okay. So,
Good job,
as far
Oh
as
my
I
God.
can, I can tell that means that the red team, which I will, I'm sorry, the blue team is now ahead 1-0. So Ferris Bueller, nice job. Let's move on to Daniel.
Well,
Hey,
Are you ready?
of course.
Okay, Daniel, here we go.
I have 2 children. I wasn't there when either of them was born.
Okay.
You bastard.
Yeah. This is a piece of shit time.
I'm assuming you were there when they were conceived.
I would hope so.
Well, someone was.
Some would say I'm there as they grow, you know.
So Daniel, what does this mean? Were you in a different city? What's the situation?
Well, it's different for both of them because both of them were born in different places under different circumstances, like different periods of my life.
Oh yeah, they're not twins.
The first was born in Japan. No, not different parents, Jesse. All right. No one's
Yeah,
here.
they're not like your
Your live portion of this.
They're not like your kid, where your one kid has 2 dads. Go ahead.
Exactly.
They both sadly look like me, so that's out of the way. But the first one was born in Japan. The second one was born here, right? So yeah, it's not the same scenario for either of them, right?
Well,
The one from Japan is smaller, cleaner, and works a little bit better than the one.
It's really good.
With a longer warranty.
A little introverted, good at engineering, you know.
His 2 kids, Ford and Mitsubishi.
They're hybrids. They're both hybrids. Clearly.
So what kept you away from the birth in both scenarios?
Yeah, good question.
So for the first one, me and my wife lived separately at the time she was about to conceive. Because that's a Japanese thing.
You mean give birth?
You mean give birth? Yeah.
Yeah, shit. All right, cool.
Man, this was just.
Well, that's now recorded public record on Instagram and Facebook and soon to be YouTube, but that's okay. We're okay. We'll survive. Mike, this is empty. Shit. Okay. So it's a Japanese thing. For the first pregnancy, the wife goes to stay with her family. So I was far away. I got a phone call that the baby needed to be a C-section, and I did not make it in time.
Thing out.
Okay, but Daniel, were you like close by, or you're like, peace out, I'm going to be waiting over here in America?
No, the first one I was in Japan too.
Okay.
I was in Japan too, but in a different city.
Okay.
But how big is Japan?
Really? I didn't even know they had different cities.
Japan is pretty damn big, man.
No, I'm just kidding.
Japan is big.
I know.
Like you could expect like New England down to Florida would be the length longitudinally. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
So like China.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's
China's
like China.
way fucking bigger.
It's the
And
same.
stop comparing Japan to China. I know where you're going with this. Nebraska. I know you. Sorry. Indiana. I'm getting red right now. Like the Japanese and Chinese flag.
Red like
Like
China.
China.
Like China.
Like China.
I beat you to the
Chinese
joke.
bread.
Beat you to the joke. All right, so
Daniel, why
I
were
live.
you like on standby? I don't understand why you like chose to be in a different like.
No, I had no choice. I was working. I was the only one making income at the time.
Oh,
What
there
were
it
you
is.
doing?
She went to live with her parents because that's what you do with your first kid. I was in another city, and I had to. So we had a set due date, and there was some entanglement with the cord or whatever happens, and I just got a call. The baby needs to come out now, and I'm like, well, fuck, I'm 3 hours away. All right, now baby number two.
They have names by now, don't they?
No.
You don't have to tell us what they are, but I mean, you
It's
didn't just
just-
call them baby number 1 and baby number 2.
It's an engineering and just like streamlining thing that's Japanese too. It's very Toyota to just name them a number. and
Version
keep it
1,
moving.
version 2.
There are no
Yeah.
failures, only data.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then number 2, that's my favorite order when we go out to eat. That's the spare rib. You know what I mean? So all good. See, you started it. I doubled down. Anyway, second kid. I'm in Asheville, North Carolina, on business. I get the phone call.
By the way, just pause for a second. That's the opposite of Japan.
Yeah.
If there were,
Yeah.
there's no like
I'm pretty
if
sure
magnets were identified as north south, Asheville, North Carolina,
And
would be
Japan.
one side,
Oh,
and then
it's-
any part of Japan.
Have you ever been
Waco.
to Asheville and ridden on the bullet train there? It is amazing.
it's Waco, Arkansas.
It's a regular
Waco,
train, but
Arkansas.
there's bullets flying around.
I can't wait to riot there one day. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Japan is not that far. You could throw a pebble and
But can you snatch the pebble from my hand, grasshopper? Well, that's
oh shit. All right. Any questions, guys?
yeah. One more round of questions, and then we'll go.
Oh gosh. So you were away on business. So I guess did you like try and get home quickly, or you just like, you know?
It'll be there when I'm
Yeah,
home.
for the second kid, what was the scoop there?
So same. The crazy thing is the same.
The kid
It
was
was
born in
me.
Japan again.
No. Deja vu is a French thing. So no. We had a due date, and I got a phone call like, "Hey, the baby's got to come out right away." So I tried to get the fastest flight I could out of Asheville, and was able to haul ass and catch the last one. When I hit Atlanta in transit to catch the next flight, on my phone, I got the call that the baby was born. The second, number 2 was born. Spare rib, as we call him.
Man, you know, had you been married to Courtney, it took her 24 hours to have a kid, and I was there the whole time.
Was it C-section though? This one they had to cut it. So.
He spent his.
No,
He spent that 24 hours trying to get a ticket to Japan.
I did.
And he wound up in Asheville.
Asheville, yeah.
Yeah.
Always happens.
Right near Waco.
Neither of the kids are mine, honestly.
Was your wife pissed? I just need to know. Was she
Well,
at you or?
So for the first one, her family was there. For the second one, her family was in Japan, not in the U.S. So no one was with her. So yes. So yes.
So what
All
happened to the first kid? Where was the first kid when the second one was being born?
The first kid was staying with other family of ours
mhm.
who were
Okay,
not.
I'm gonna cut off debate now, and you're going to
Bad
determine.
choice of words, but okay.
Oh, Casey, what do you think?
I'm going to sever the umbilical to our debate, and we are going to embark upon the placenta of decision here.
Oh, no. This whole thing has been quite an abortion of comedy.
Oh no.
I'll say it.
Oh no. Okay. So
Daniel, I've got a plan A and I've got a plan B here.
Casey, you're such a pill, you know?
all right. So, what do you think?
Look, Daniel, I think of all the players that have played this game, is the best of the players in this game.
Rude, but okay.
That's a
The
lie.
story, the story makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think of Tom writing the story. Yeah, this is not something Tom would have done. I know that.
But Daniel does have 2 children. We know that much. So half of it is already true.
And the pebble and window thing does actually come from my life. So
so my gut just tells me that this doesn't feel true.
Okay.
Jesse, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, you're the man, so I'm just going to follow your lead here.
Oh, that's not good, Jesse. Vote Biden because he's a man and he's old. All right, so I guess we're going to go with this is a lie. But Daniel, the story you told is whimsical and lovely. And if it was anyone else that told the story, I would believe it.
Okay. So you say it's a lie. It's true. It's true as it can be.
Oh, that means you're a
my
piece of
goodness.
shit.
Exactly. And funny enough, that's what the last fortune cookie I got said. You are a complete piece of shit.
And where do fortune
Same with
cookies
your
come
number
from?
2.
What were the numbers? Yeah.
Where do fortune cookies come from, Daniel?
Not Japan.
Fucking
Asheville,
China.
North Carolina, actually. Okay. All right. Let's move along the perimeter of our little clock here,
Okay.
and we're on to Sarah now. And the score is tied, or I'll knot it up at 1. Sarah, you can help break that. Well, you
All
will.
right.
No matter what happens, you're gonna break it.
Let's see.
So let's see Sarah's thing.
I was once among the top national finalists to be Charlie Sheen's social media intern.
Oh.
So who did that, me or Tom?
And is it the top finalist, or does that put you among the bottom finalists?
It's personal.
Do I have to get tested now?
Winner.
We
Winning,
probably all should.
winning.
Yeah.
You all should. We've all been intimate.
I don't even care about COVID anymore. I got AIDS.
You got
Damn
that
it.
tiger blood.
So what do you say?
When did this happen, Sarah?
Yeah, how did you apply?
Yeah, so this would have been junior year of college. I was a journalism major in college, and one of our major requirements was to have a full-term internship. So most people did it over the summer between junior and senior year. So everyone's like mass applying for internships. And during this time, so this would have been like the spring of 2011. And that was like peak Charlie Sheen's like going off the deep end, where he was like in the public eye, but for like the tiger blood, like mad coked out reasons.
Yeah.
And he just kind of decided to put out a contest where you could apply through like legitimate means for an internship with him. And the first round was just like a very simple questionnaire. And the first round of people wound up having like 80,000 applicants. So a bunch of my journalism friends, we all applied kind of as a joke, obviously not thinking it would ever lead to anything. But myself and one other girl, Sammy, both got emails from the internship provider that was like the website portal. And they were like, congratulations, you've been chosen as the top 1,000. And we were like, that's funny. So they like sent you another questionnaire and were like, give us more information like about your background and like why you might be qualified.
A headshot.
So we did, and we both got into the next round. And then the next round was like the top 500, where you had to submit it was 250. And then you had to submit a video. So you had to make like a 2-minute video pitching your qualifications.
Can we
So-
hear the video? Can we hear what you
Yeah, I'd like to see
I
that.
have the video. It's somewhere. It might be on YouTube, like on my private channel, but I honestly haven't seen it since.
You have a private YouTube channel? Is that
Yeah,
like,
it's like my OnlyFans. You guys can subscribe.
it's an OnlyFans?
Nice.
Guys, can we end this? I just need to know what that login
Yeah,
is.
what do we gotta do?
Why aren't we streaming to that right now?
Why are we not on the
Why aren't we there?
OnlyFans? Guys,
Many
for-
subscribers.
You know what just entered the chat? Thirst.
Is this a thirst trap? Is that what this is?
The thirst chat. That's right.
now, of course, Daniel's not going to be arriving to OnlyFans until 12 to 14 hours later.
Just gotta get birth first.
Any other questions? Any other questions?
Oh God. Sure. When did you get cut?
So I made it to the top 50
Okay.
out of 80,000. And I actually like got an interview, not with Charlie Sheen, but with like somebody from his team. And they like video conferenced everyone who made the top 50. And I did make it to the top 25. And I have no idea what happened to whoever won. But we were like all like
In
following
fact,
each other on Twitter.
nobody knows what happened to whoever.
He was never seen again.
Never seen again. Their bodies were never recovered.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Why did you want to submit?
Honestly, we just thought it'd be like a good, funny joke. And then like I got in too deep. And then I was like, well, I'm not going to quit now. Like, what if this happened?
That's how heroin works.
Yeah.
That's honestly I think
So, like,
Charlie
really
Sheen
just
got
shot up
AIDS.
to see what would happen. Yeah. I just
Okay, I'm going to cut off debate here,
Yeah.
and, because I want to say the name Charlie Sheen as little as possible. So, blue team, Casey, Jesse, think about it and discuss it. Lying.
I fucked up. I messed up the first one.
You did.
Jesse, yeah. I
My
know.
female intuition says that this is
Oh.
true.
Oh my God.
Yeah. My vagina just like it just feels like she's telling the truth.
Can
you
you
know?
show us?
Yeah, just to prove it to you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
That's fine. You left your wife alone. So
That's
True.
right.
Factual.
She was in a different city when the kid was conceived. You heard it first. You heard it
fact-
right here.
In fact, that's
she was
not a lie.
she was in Minneapolis. It was the Twin
Yeah,
Cities,
boys.
and you went to the one child that wasn't born
Right.
while she had the other. All right. So
okay, blue team, lie, truth.
We say true.
You say truth,
See,
Casey.
stop it.
sure, fine.
Casey's gonna go along with you, Jesse, which is the right move. It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
My vagina never fails me.
Oh God.
You have a kid.
That's good. to
No.
know.
Exactly. That's yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's a cute kid, but it's still a kid.
Yeah.
But you pulled ahead there. Blue team.
God. All right.
Just like her vagina.
Pressure's on.
Your
Yeah,
spider senses.
You pulled ahead, which is
Jingle.
what you would have seen if you'd been there at the birth of either of your kids. Someone pulling their head.
Here's why I think. Here's why I knew it was true. It was the moment that Sarah went. Her down from 500 to 50. She corrected herself in her story. Because if I was lying, I'd be like, "Oh, we got down to 500," and so there it is.
Ooh, that's a good
Okay.
tip, Casey. Thank you. I'm going to use that.
Okay.
Yeah, if you correct yourself,
And now,
Jesse,
now,
Find your
Jesse, don't-
vagina
don't-
not really responding. You can always.
Jesse, use your vagina to
Yeah.
tell the story.
yes,
Okay, done.
or have your vagina whisper it to you, and then you tell us. Are you ready, Jesse?
Is it like Braille? Do you just like kind of?
I don't know. You got to feel around for that bump.
Oh
Oh.
God. Okay. Let's stop.
Okay.
In fact,
What?
let's keep doing this, but offline. Okay.
Feel
Are
like
you
we're
ready?
having
Are you ready, Jesse?
I am ready.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, sorry. When I was young, I used to think you were supposed to cut tea bags open and pour the leaves into boiling water. It's why I still don't really like tea. Yeah, I mean, it's like one of my favorite stories about myself. You guys didn't you didn't
All right,
do
that's
that.
it. I gotta go.
You didn't do that as a kid.
Stop leaving. That's the first time
No.
anyone's ever said that to you. But stop leaving.
For the record, that's not so crazy that you would think to do that, right?
I think it's more crazy that this is your favorite childhood tale.
Well, the family enjoyed it. They humored me. They let me, give it a
Jesse,
go.
your family used to own a zoo. Just FYI.
Oh, that's true. York Zoo. What up?
That could have been a story, but you didn't provide that.
You know what, guys? So, I mean, now I don't like tea because of this. So, yeah, good times.
So, to this day,
Well, to this day, I'm just not a big tea fan. It was like kind of, I wouldn't say it was traumatic, okay, but I have a lot of bad memories associated with this, like trying to make it happen and then being made fun of later in life, realizing that that's not actually how you make tea.
It's not the tea's fault.
I know.
You're really
Yes.
holding on to this deep resentment. The tea did not do this to you.
It is the tea's fault for coming in a bag. I mean,
Yes,
God, think. What is there in a bag that you
Jesse hates it when you come in a bag.
Yeah.
You know what I
There
mean?
you go. Right. Yeah.
There's so many other places.
Guys,
Other
think about other foods, other things that are packaged. Like your instinct is to open them. Like I don't get why this is so unheard of. That why would you?
every bag you see, you have to open. Like it's like an overwhelming.
I feel bad for
know.
Steven, honestly.
Other examples of things in bags that you dip.
she just drops the bag of ramen
Jesse's
straight
clearly
into
never
the
played
boiling water.
Otherwise, you would have known how tea bags work.
I'm not gonna steam this. I'm not gonna steam this bag of broccoli. This bag of broccoli has to get the fuck out.
Wait, wait, what do you mean with broccoli? What? You guys, I was today years old when I learned you're supposed to keep broccoli in the bag.
Okay. All right. Okay.
To
this day, there are bags and bags of unopened fertilizer lying all over her lawn.
Yeah. You know that condoms go out of the wrapper too, right?
You shouldn't
Yeah.
cut. It shouldn't be on it, and then you cut it open to say, "I can't see it. Open it up."
I don't think it's that crazy that a young child for a couple years,
So
Jessie is in public with her face mask and has cut that slit so that she can breathe better in public during quarantine.
wait, so Jessie, when you were really young, like, why were you making so much tea?
Well, okay. Fair.
Like, what happened?
Okay.
Were you like a little British woman living in a shoe?
Because there wasn't any bird seed lying around the house.
I almost lost everything.
Guys, it's not okay. I know this sounds weird, but I was a night owl, like even as a child, and like blame my parents, but it was like a caffeine situation. Like I stay up late and they encouraged it. Like I turned off the lights in my household. Like that's how it worked. Like as an April.
Jesse, you cut these open with scissors, or did you throw pebbles at them?
I used a sharp pebble, and it just.
Did you abandon them and just hope that they would disintegrate and open up and birth themselves?
That's why it wasn't really that enjoyable. I knew something was off, but I just thought it was kind of like, I don't know, like a seaweed, sort of like extra. I don't know. I thought that's just how it was. Like,
I'm going to cut off this ritual humiliation. and so now Daniel and Sarah, you can humiliate her further by discussing whether she's telling the truth or not.
Perfect. I think it's a lie.
what?
What?
I just
Before you guys give your opinion, have you guys ever seen that show? I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Have you guys seen the sketch for the dude? It's with his date, and they're eating the nachos, and she keeps eating all the good nachos. So he gets, and so he gets up and tells the server, "Hey, can you just come to the table and tell her that it's a policy that one person can't be eating all the good nachos?" Comes over, and then he's like, "Hey, you can't be eating all the nachos." He's like, "What?" And she like calls him on his shit. And she's like, "Did you ask him to come over?" He's like, "What? What? You gotta look." I know we don't produce Netflix or this show, but that particular sketch kills me, and I show it to as many people as possible. Okay. That's what I thought of in this. I'm sorry. Hi.
So now we need a guesstimation from Daniel and Sarah.
My vagina is also tingling and telling me.
If there's one labia I'm gonna trust besides my own, it's Dan's.
So I'm not familiar with that particular emoji. So what does it mean in language? You think it's a lie? You both think it's a lie.
I can't picture baby Jessie just like putting on the kettle and making a cuppa at like.
Well, it's a lie.
Oh, guys, do it.
It's one of the stupidest lies ever invented.
Weird old British lady.
There were a lot of plot holes, Tom. Come on.
Sleepy time tea.
I think it was such a stupid lie that it was almost believable, but
I really.
So
that must have been something that Tom used to do.
No. I didn't make tea. Why would I make tea?
Why would I make tea?
I have like other true stories about tea bags, but just not that
one. MILTB.
Are you serious after dark?
You must send them to me. I won't use them in the show, but I'd like to read them.
Tom, I feel like we end in ties pretty often at this point. There should be like a tiebreaker that shows up at this point, right?
Yeah, I suppose it could be.
Yeah.
I could give you. I mean, I could tell you something about me that's true or not true, and you can
guess.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
But I can't write it down because we didn't plan it. But
you know what, Tom? We can listen. We know.
Okay.
Tom, tell us a truth or a lie, and then we're gonna have to trust the fact that you are telling a truth or a lie.
Okay. Let me think. It's easier to think of a lie than the truth. Let's see. Okay. All right. No, it's too believable. Let's see. Okay. All right. I was once playing hockey.
True.
Outdoors up north on a pond and all that stuff.
False.
And got hit in the face, in the mouth by a slap shot. And of course, wasn't wearing any protection there. And my helmet and my gloves flew off. My stick flew far away, and I finished. That I guess that's enough. I can tell you more, but that's enough. So I got hit in the mouth by a slap shot. Helmet, gloves, stick all flew off of me, like in a cartoon.
Ooh, cartoon Tom. I'm into it.
How long ago was this?
Oh shit! When was it? 70s.
Okay.
Back when they used to have ice in the winter.
And was this on like an open lake, or was this a controlled surface? What was this?
It was a lake. We used to call it. Well, what the hell was it called? It was called. It was a lake that you had to walk through the woods and down railroad tracks to get to. It was actually part of a police summer camp, a camp for kids that was run by the police. Fort Apache, it was called, and there was a pond in the back, and so we would walk through the woods and down the railroad tracks a couple miles, and then through the woods, and then there was this pond.
Okay. So in the 70s, you were 65, 66 years old?
Only mentally.
Right?
Okay, let's think about this like scientifically. Could that happen? Right? You guys are smart. I don't know.
I think it's true.
Like, can you
So
describe like how you got hit and like your gloves flew off? I could see a helmet maybe, but
That's what happens when people get hit by a car. They lose all that shit. Like their tied shoes fly off their feet.
Oh.
So my consideration is that Tom isn't the one that received the puck to the face.
Oh.
He was the one that delivered the puck to the
somebody
face
else.
and did
Yeah.
this to somebody else.
So
That's
range.
what my belief is.
Pretty Tom thing.
And
to
I
do.
think the way to make the tiebreaker happen is we make a individual determination as to whether we think this is true or false.
Oh.
And so if I think it's true, and Jesse thinks it's true, and Daniel thinks it's true, and Sarah thinks it's true, okay, fine. We end up in a tie.
Yeah.
But
Then we go to penalty kicks.
we take a puck to the face.
Okay. Any further questions before I
God,
have to force to divulge?
I think it's false. That's just me.
Okay, Daniel. Daniel
Can
says
you
true.
smile? Smile,
Sarah?
Tom. I need to see your teeth.
Sarah
I think it's false.
and Jesse.
I think it's false.
Okay. Well, it's true.
Oh shit! Red team wins.
The red team, thanks to
Daniel.
Daniel. Thanks to Daniel, the red team wins the tiebreaker.
Damn it.
Yes, I got hit by a slap. Yeah, none of my slap shots would have caused anything to fly off of anything. I don't have a slap shot. I've never had a slap shot. But
Did you slip on a
You probably
banana?
have a good wrister. You're probably a wrister guy.
I'm a wrister. I'm a big wrister. I normally didn't play defense, but I was playing defense that day, and Bruce the Moose, big guy, and whenever this, I sometimes played goal, and I used to get upset when because Bruce the Moose would come skating in, and he had a slap shot that would take paint off of a car, and he was this big freaking guy, and he would come across not the blue line. He'd come into the zone, and he'd wind up, and the defenseman would just part like the Red Sea because they didn't want to be bothered, and they never helped me out. It was like, screw you, Tom. You're the goalie. You save it. So I got whacked by that guy. So one game I had to play defense. We had another goalie, and I said, well, I'm not going to do that to my goalie. So Bruce the Moose wound up, and I said, I'm going to do what a defenseman's supposed to do. And I put my stick down to block his shot, and it went off the blade of my stick right into my mouth.
Oh.
And the gloves flew off. The stick flew into the woods or something like that, which weren't far away. And I remember my best friend Steve skated up to me, and all he could, and I'm lying there and all he could do was he took his gloves off and applauded because it looked so good. It looked so good. And I had this big thing on my mouth for the next.
Oh
my God.
We kept playing. What are you going to do? But yes, Bruce the Moose lit me up. Yeah.
Damn.
And
That's crazy.
Thanks to that, the red team wins.
Hey!
So there was some there was some. There was a good outcome. Somebody won. Cool. Well, I had a lot of fun, guys. Casey, Daniel, Sarah, Jesse. It's so much fun to do this with you guys.
It is. Mm-hmm.
So I'll see you hopefully next time. It's nice to have the family together.
No.
And I'd say it was a riot, but it has a different meaning this weekend. So when I say that,
Sure does.
yeah. So thank you
Sure
for
does, Tom.
being here. We'll keep doing it, and we'll do more. And thank those in the present and in the future who are watching. If you're here
Thank you.
with us, it's cool. We're glad you're here. And in the future, if you're in the future now, how'd you get there? How the fuck did you get there?
Take us with you.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.